For decades, the top of the FIFA World Rankings has been an exclusive club. Brazil, France, Argentina, Germany, Belgium. If you weren't from Europe or South America, you were just a tourist in the top 10. But the January 2026 update just changed everything. The AFCON effect has officially hit the rankings, and it hit hard. While Spain and Argentina are still sitting comfortably at the top, look at what's happening below them. Morocco hasn't just entered the top 10, they've kicked down the door and taken a seat at the VIP table. Senegal is knocking on the door, and giants like Croatia, they're falling off. In this video, we're breaking down the historic January 2026 FIFA rankings. We're going to talk about Morocco's rise to 8th, Senegal's surge to 12th, and most importantly, why this actually matters for the 2026 World Cup. Because trust me, this isn't just a number. This is about who gets an easy group and who goes home early. Let's start with the big story. Morocco. Even though they lost the AFCON final on home soil, a heartbreak for the fans in Casablanca, the algorithm rewarded them massively. Morocco has climbed 3 spots to 8th in the world. Let me put that in perspective. They are now ranked higher than Italy, higher than Croatia, and higher than Uruguay. This is the highest ranking ever for an African nation. The last time they were even close to this was back in 1998. But this feels different. This isn't a fluke. Since that World Cup semifinal run in Qatar, Morocco has been a machine. Consistency is the key to the FIFA ranking formula. You don't get points for being flashy, you get points for winning. By reaching the AFCON final and beating top-tier African opposition along the way, they farmed massive coefficient points. Why does 8th place matter? Because of Pot 1. If the World Cup draw happened today, Morocco would be a top seed. That means avoiding France, avoiding Argentina, and avoiding Spain in the group stages. That is the difference between a quarterfinal run and a group stage exit. Now, let's talk about the champions. Senegal. They lifted the trophy, and the FIFA rankings rewarded them with a rocket boost. They climbed 7 places to reach 12th in the world. They are now breathing down the necks of teams like Germany and the USA. This Senegal team, under Papetia, is proving to be one of the most resilient national teams we've ever seen. People forget that the FIFA ranking formula weighs continental finals extremely heavily. A win in the AFCON final is worth almost as much as a win in a World Cup knockout game. Senegal beat Morocco, a top 10 team, in the final. That is a massive points multiplier. And honestly, they look scarier than half the teams above them. If I'm England or Belgium, I do not want to see Senegal in my World Cup group. It wasn't just the finalists who feasted. The beauty of a major tournament like AFCON is that it wakes up the sleeping giants. Look at Nigeria and Cameroon. Both of these powerhouses jumped 12 spots. Nigeria is now sitting at 26th, cracking the top 30 again. Cameroon is back in the respectable zone at 45th. Both of these powerhouses jumped 12 spots. This is the AFCON effect. In months where Europe is playing meaningless friendlies or qualifiers against San Marino, African teams are playing high-intensity, high-coefficient knockout football. This is the time to climb. If you're a Super Eagle fan, you have to be feeling good about the direction the team is heading. But for every riser, there must be a faller. The math is a zero-sum game. And the victims of this update are the European, quote, old guard. Croatia has officially fallen out of the top 10, landing at 11th. It feels like the end of an era. Without major tournaments to boost their points, and with an aging squad, they are slowly bleeding ranking points. And look at Germany. They are clinging to the edge of the top 10, 9th/10th. For a footballing nation of that heritage, barely holding off Senegal and USA is a crisis. The dominance of Europe is slightly fading as the global game catches up. So, what does this all mean? We are inching closer to the 2026 World Cup in North America. Morocco is proving that an African team can be a seeded nation. That changes the geometry of the entire tournament. Imagine a group with Spain, Senegal, and Uruguay. That is possible now. The gap is closing. The easy games don't exist anymore. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Morocco deserves that number 8 spot? And can Senegal push into the top 10 before the World Cup? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more football analysis, and I'll see you in the next one.